Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 7 of What If Naruto Was Too Advanced for His Age. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also stay in tune for What If Naruto was given abilities by 4 devils over an Anime King. And I post a new episode of What If Naruto had cosmic energy over an Anime King 3. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King 2 and Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping and support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Naruto was able to manipulate the prize sand technique into something more deadly by combining the wind together and created a lot of wind blades around him, while the sand ninja that created the technique wasn't able to fully master it because he ended up slicing off his own arms by mistake when the technique imploded on him. But Naruto was able to manipulate it, as his father was beyond shocked seeing his son reproduce a technique from the sand, just having prior knowledge of the technique. With that, the time finally rolled around for the Chunin exams, as Naruto and his team made their way there, as they were ready. The Chunin exams were quite different this time around. It was the second part that was really difficult, psychological trauma, to see if they were ready, if they had the mindset to become Chunins, as Naruto saw his father and his mother was pregnant as they were all kidnapped by stone ninjas. That was one thing that he feared the most. The ninjas had saw what happened as Kakashi went to talk to Naruto after that. He was bottling up a lot of it inside of him, as he was worrying that one day something bad might happen and the stone ninjas might come after them again, and they wasn't going to be ready. But Naruto ended up passing the test along with Tenten and Neji, as they had to wait until the next part came around. But they got time off for them to train and improve their skills. Asuma had came back to the village after his guardianship at the Fire Daimyo Castle. So with that over, he saw Naruto as he offered for him to be Naruto Sensei. After all, he was the one that gave Naruto those trench knife, and he saw how well the kid has adapted to them. Kurenai had came by with Yujiro. Kurenai had a crush on Asuma, so Yujiro kept on teasing her, and Kurenai decided to tease her back with Naruto, as Yujiro was surprised that Naruto had this new technique and never showed her. Well, she also had a new technique and never showed him, so the both of them were upset at each other. But they simply shrugged it off as they went to show each other their techniques. The time passed as Asuma saw how skilled that Naruto was, as the boy picked up everything so quickly that you taught him. But Asuma had to go on a mission, as he left Naruto with a couple of scrolls to continue to practice. And also Naruto still had to work on the fighting style. Naruto was taught by Sasuke, as he knew of Sasuke, Itachi's younger brother, but they never really taught before. It seems that the kid just graduated from the academy, as he challenged Naruto. Naruto completely ignored him as he didn't know who the hell this brat think that he was. Making his way, as Yujiro saw Naruto as she came to talk to him. Naruto got bold as he asked her out on a date. She was surprised. Yes, beyond surprised, because they had gotten things to eat before but they never classified as a date. This was still fresh and new to her, but she accepted, as that made Naruto smile. He then went home as he didn't really know what to do on a date. It was strange. They went out to eat before, but this was different, right? So he decided to ask his mother and father, seeing the both of them on the couch. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across to the page and check it out for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? Well, said Naruto as he looked at his mother and father. I kinda asked Yujiro out to have dinner and she said yes. So I was wondering, can you guys help me figure out what to do? That's my boy, said Minato, already dating, and even managed to get an older woman to accept. Minato felt a shiver run down his spine as he turned. Kushina was glaring at him. Naruto, don't listen to your father. even though we are indeed quite proud of you, since you came to us for assistance. Instead of asking a certain pervert, she said, as she glared at Minato a bit. As Naruto knew why though, as he was told by his mother. Apparently his father had asked Eroseni Jiraiya, his godfather, for some tips. And knowing how perverted the Toad Sage was, he kind of got into Minato's head. Minato, being nervous, ended up, well, doing what Jiraiya told him. And Kushina really hated pervert. So to see Minato acting that way, she ended up beating him until he returned back to normal, acting quite nervous but still better than perverted. Now Naruto, the first and most important rule is to be yourself. Trust me on this. If Yujiro accepted your invitation, she doesn't want anyone else but you to be on that date with her. So just be yourself. Now, as for where to take her, I would advise something neutral, like a sushi place or something like that. Well, there are a lot of places that you can take her. Well, you have to make your first date special, so you have to figure out something. Try thinking about what she would like, and go for that. Now, etiquette in these situations are quite normal. There's no need to be extra formal, but always remember some rules. Never let her pay for her meals. Show her that you're a gentleman, but try not to be over abrasive. Given the fact that she's the only one, she made more money than you. Although, money is not really an issue, but try not to take her to an expensive place to try like you're showing off wealth. Last rule of all, try to relax and enjoy her company. As Naruto stood there, as he listened to everything that his parents had to tell him, after thanking them over and over, he quickly made his way upstairs, as he had to pick out what he had to wear, as Naruto was trying to come up with a great surprise for her, as he was thinking about her, and the things that he knew about her. After some time, he got the idea. One time he read a book about samurais, and knew that the samurais enjoy fighting below moonlight, because the moonlight reflect on their blade. There was also some aspect to the blood being spilled, but that was irrelevant at the moment. Naruto knew that the Uzuki clan was founded by samurais a long time ago, and the fact that the woman happened to be one of the best kinjutsu user in Konoha only improved her success rate. With Yujiro, seeing that the seals weren't there anymore, as she was trying to get acquainted to her normal body weight, as she made her way from rooftop to rooftop. She was thinking about going on a date with Naruto, so suddenly, the truth was she wanted to wait at least until he was Chunin rank, or 14. But she was rather impressed as he came bold asking her like that. As she arrived at Envu HQ, making her way inside, she saw Kakashi looking at a mission scroll intensely. Once he looked up, he saw her as she was holding onto a piece of paper. "I have something for you, Kakashi-senpai," she said, as she handed the paper. As he took it and started to read it over, as what he read was order from Hokage to give Yujiro 2 days off, for her to get stabilized to her normal body weight. But it was at the worst moment, seeing that the mission that his team was supposed to do was an intel gathering mission near Konoha District Market. "I'm sorry, Yujiro-san, we cannot comply with such an order. Our team has an information gathering mission around Konoha District Market. However, you don't need to worry. We won't be doing any physical effort," said Kakashi. She realized she won't be able to rest a bit, but that was not the big problem. Her date with Naruto. "I have to tell him." "I understand, senpai," she said. As Kakashi saw her look down, he was confused. She was always excited about taking on any challenge no matter what it is. Something was definitely off with his vice captain, and he could just tell that a certain blonde was involved. But that was a personal matter, so he didn't really press her on it, as he told her to meet him in 20 minutes. As Yujiro made her way off, she thought about what she could say to Naruto to tell him that she wouldn't be attending the date, as she really didn't know how he reacted to the news. After all, the only time she saw him sad before was when he did his first kill, and he got over that rather quickly. Her personal side told her that he will be crushed to be stood up like this, but her professional side told her that he would understand given that she have a mission. But she sighed because she really didn't have a choice. But because her date had to be postponed, that didn't mean that she would leave him waiting outside her door forever. She had 20 minutes, as she quickly left HQ and speed towards her house. As she wrote a note explaining, as she attached it to a kunai, as she saw that his window was open. As she tossed it, it went right inside and pierced right at the wall, somewhere visible that he would see. With that, she made her way off, hoping that he will understand. Meanwhile, Naruto got out of the shower as he had heard something. Making his way, he went to investigate as he saw a kunai embedded in the wall. as he removed it and the note that was attached to it. And he started to read. Naruto-kun, I'm sorry, but I have to cancel our date. Kakashi-senpai needs me on a mission. I hope that you can forgive me, and I hope that we can schedule another date for us. Also, since we'll be doing an information gathering mission, I don't know when it will be over, so I'm sorry again. Hopefully, I'll get to see your performance at June exams. Good luck with your training, Naruto-kun, and once again, forgive me. Yujiro. The note ended. After reading the note, as he sat on his bed, he understand, well, she had to do what she had to do. She was an envoy after all. And she was apologizing a little bit too much. After all, he wasn't some naive kid, he understood. A ninja mission always came before a social life, and Naruto understood that, as he put on a different set of clothes, rather than the dating clothes that he was gonna wear. Well, tonight was a full moon, he thought to himself. Some would think that after all these years, watching a full moon would get tiring, and he would stop doing it. However, it did not. Naruto was like a werewolf. As much as his father said it, he was right, as he just enjoyed watching the moon. But since he still had some more time, he directed his attention towards the scroll, with the most difficult jutsu that he hasn't mastered yet. Well, not completely. Lightning release, thunder, ball cannon jutsu. He was able to create the ball, but he wanted to add the wind jutsu, so that he could give it that extra push, as he wanted to add the wind style, great wind breakthrough, to launch the ball successfully. He had read the theory over and over again. He just need to practice. He need a way of not launching the ball, but he need to learn how to control it somehow. Wait, control the path of objects. Why does that sentence seem so familiar to me, he wondered to himself. As he didn't remember, yes, Asuma was the one that told him something about that, but Asuma thought that he was still too inexperienced to do such a thing. Flashback. As Naruto was currently standing with Asuma, Naruto, I see that there isn't much I can teach you regarding wind techniques. However, there's a final technique that only Sand Jonin or even higher can do. It is called wind style, Verdant Mountains, Violent Wind. The ninja control of their chakra has to be rather excellent because this technique can control objects. It is a C-rank technique, but given what it can do, and it is so hard to learn because of the chakra capacity. Watch, as he threw one of his strange knife and did the technique. Naruto watched as Asuma held his hand in snake seal. Suddenly, the knife was picked off the ground, and it started to spin like a gig. Wow, Asuma-sensei, do you think I can do that? Naruto asked. Unfortunately not now. While I can see that you almost perfect your wind ninjutsu, you need almost perfect chakra control in order to perform this technique. As Naruto looked down sadly at that, in the flashback. I wonder if such a thing is listed in the book, Naruto wondered, as he opened his book that regard wind style ninjutsu. As he found that jutsu near the book end, well, that wasn't a surprise, given what Asuma said. According to Asuma, the jutsu was tough, given the chakra control needed to control the object. The theory consists of surrounding the object with a little typhoon. After that, the ninja would control the typhoon, which means the object will get control as well. Once he stopped reading, he found the theory was rather simple. But the practice was the toughest part, as he realized in order to make a typhoon and a thunderball, he had to make sure not to mix them. He had to keep both elements perfectly balanced, or the encounter could explode at him if he made them combust together. But as he thought about it now, if he was able to control the thunderball, he could make it go anywhere that he wished. Yes, so if the enemy dodged out of the way, he could control it and turn it towards the direction. Therefore, a little change of name would be in order, he thought to himself. Since it won't be considered canon, how about eliminating that part, he thought. Yes, lightning release, Thunderball Jutsu. That sounds much better. After all, it would be able to move and go around as much as it pleased, without shutting in one straight line. Timescape. The day of the tournament. As 2 weeks has passed since Naruto started work on that new technique of his, and today was a tournament. As the sunlight radiated from his window, hitting right into his eyes. As Naruto awoke, a bit groggy, he has been pushing himself in his training recently, being able to pass the first step of Chunin exams. That just pushed him even more to train and become more stronger. There was one thing he wasn't happy about though, and that was Yuji's disappearance from view. Since her note explained, well, more apologizing than explaining, her going off, he hasn't seen her since, as he even went to ask Uncle and Kurne about it, but they told him not to worry. After all, Unvus went on long mission from time to time. Still, Naruto wanted to see her before the Chunin exam began, as he also wanted her to see him fight as well. Nonetheless, he wouldn't brood too much on this. After all, he was not a spoiled child. He knew that some things just, well, didn't happen sometimes, for some reason, and he kept up his training for the entire month. His taijutsu improved greatly as he got accustomed to his natural weight, as he could face off against 10 clones one time now, as he started to focus more on his twin knife style of fighting as well, as he was able to maneuver the technique, the match with his ninjutsu. Lastly, his ultimate lightning technique was almost pretty much completed. After all, he's been working on it for 2 years now, ever since his father gave him that scroll. While he could control the lightning ball now with the wing style jutsu, he could only do so in a short distance before the lightning ball dissipated. But still, he was going to use it as a last resort. He can't just go around spamming something like that. Not to mention, it took chakra to control the lightning ball, and it was rather difficult when he was trapped in the wind jutsu, and he also had to maintain the perfect balance so each of them didn't cancel each other out. He made them blend to work together with the wind, acting as a second layer of skin towards the lightning ball, and the lightning ball did not break through at all. Getting up, Naruto went to the bathroom as he did all his necessities. As he looked into the mirror after getting dressed, as he could just imagine himself in a Chunin jacket, as that made him smile. After that, he made his way downstairs as his mother was the only one there, as she was having breakfast quietly. She's been talking to her stomach lately, as Naruto heard from his father how attached she was when she was pregnant with him. While someone would expect jealousy from Naruto, he wasn't really jealous, as he was just happy that this sister of his would grow up in a wonderful happy family, and he was happy that his mother was happy as well, seeing that he wasn't around much, given that he was a ninja now, and not to mention he'll become a chunin soon enough and be going on a long-term mission. He was just happy that his mother had another baby around, as he knew that he had to become stronger to protect her no matter what. Meanwhile, with Yujeu, as she was cursing inside of her head right now because of the situation, as a result of her last mission, they found out some illegal activities was going on inside of Konoha District Market, as her and her envoy team was inside of her room going through some trade documents. The reason why she was pissed was, it's been 2 weeks since she stood Naruto up for that date. Well, she couldn't go, and the Chunin exams were today. She promised that she would be there to see him fight at the tournament, but this mission was far from over. Every second to her felt like a torture being here. Timescape. At the Chunin exam stadium, after Naruto's arrival, he saw his team gathering in front of the tournament court. As he arrived closer, he greeted Tenten, Neji, and Uncle, who turned to greet him as well. "So tell me, how did training go?" said Neji. Naruto smiled. "It was excellent. Although, I would refrain from telling any of you, since we may be facing each other." "Won't we?" said Naruto as he turned towards the board. As he looked, Uncle started to explain the order of the fights. "We actually don't know if you guys will fight each other or not. The first battle will be the genin from Kumo and one from Kiri. The second will be between you, Naruto, and a genin from San, named Takado, Ori. And the next match will be Neji versus a genin from Kumo. Be careful, Neji. Some people use this fight not to become chunins, but to complete objectives set by their respective village. I'm not saying that you'll be after the Byakugan, but stay on alert. The fourth fight will be between another genin from Kiri and a genin from the stone. The fifth one will be you, Tenten, and a genin from the hidden stone. Since there's an uneven number of fights, Tenten, if you win your fight, you'll be going through to the finals." "Uncle Sensei," said Tenten once Uncle was finished, "what can you tell us about our opponents?" "Well, Naruto's opponent, from what I heard, wants to be a wind specialist. He is considering chakra reserves. I don't know about his other abilities, but since he wants to become a ninjutsu specialist, he could be a mid to long range fighter." Neji's opponent used C-rank lightning techniques with taijutsu, quite similar to Naruto's style of fighting, so you shouldn't have many problems trying to figure out how to counter-attack. "Tenten, your guy, is considered to be a taijutsu specialist. About his ninjutsu, I don't know. So, he's a close-range fighter, just watch out for that," said Uncle. As all of them nodded. "Alright, Team 5, just a piece of advice to all of you. You guys have potential to become chunins. However, sometimes potential doesn't matter if the opponent disable you before you can fully show your potential. Remember, a chunin has to be powerful and also have analytical abilities. Don't jump head on against the enemy without a strategy. And if you guys lost because of something stupid, I will summon so much snakes and make them chase you for the entire day. Well, good luck," she said, as she waved at them before vanishing. As all of them knew that she wasn't kidding with that threat, she was really gonna do it if they mess up in some stupid ways. Timescape. The audience was filled with daimyos, shinobis from other villages, and Konoha ninjas. The genins were all gathered ready to be addressed by the Hokage, as Naruto looked into the crowd as he looked for the cat mask, or to see her as herself, but she wasn't here. He knew that she would be here if she wanted to, but it seems like her mission was too long. Deciding to, show her his chunin vest when he became a chunin, Naruto made a vow of determination that he will become a chunin no matter what. As he looked up to see his father, along with the Raikage and Kazekage, Minato for his part was rushing the crowd as they were sitting amongst each other. When he saw that everything was ready, he rose from his seat and began his announcement. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the third phase of the chunin exam. As you may or may not know, the Genins that stand in front of you will perform all-out fights between each other, with hopes of being promoted to the rank of Jonin. Now without further ado, let's begin the tournament, he said. Claps and cheers could be heard all over. Genma, being the proctor for the third part of Chunin exams, turned to speak. Alright, let's begin. Now everyone except for Kaito, Satori, and Yazo, Kaguya, please go towards the booth. The rest of the Genins made their way to the booth to see this fight. After they arrived, Naruto and Nechi looked at the member of the Kaguya clan with interest. Their Keiki Genkai was amongst the most dangerous ones, using their bones as weapons. After Genma asked them if they were ready, they nodded. As he told them to begin, they dashed forward as they clashed in the center. The Kumo ninja was having trouble trying to land hit on the Kaguya, and when he did hit him, because of his Keiki Genkai, his bones hardening, he didn't really feel the blows that much. After a while, Yuzo landed a kick at Kaito as he speed through hand signs, water style, grand waterfall jutsu, said the Kaguya member as he fired a huge torrent of water. As the opponent had to do a substitution quickly and got out of the way, as Kaito then arrived at the right as he went through hand sign, lightning release, thunder whip jutsu. Seeing the thunder whip coming his way, the Kaguya was surprised to see the speed of the attack. Quickly, he pulled out bone from his arm that looked like a blade as he blocked the attack. Seeing the attack get blocked, Kaito decided to go for a fighting alternative as he moved forward. For a moment, it looked like Kaito was winning as the Kaguya was just blocking and defending. But then, the Kaguya released Bone Finger Bullet technique as the ability slammed right into Kaito hard. They knocked him back as the Kaguya then leaped. With Kaito off balance, he smashed his foot right in his skull, knocking him out cold. Winner, said Genma, as everyone erupted in cheers for the Kaguya clan member. Naruto was amazed at the ability shown, as he hoped to get to fight the Kaguya member. Nechi knew that his Ryugen strike can penetrate the Kaguya enemy defense. After all, his Ryugen strike attacked points in the body, so no matter what bloodline he used, he could shut off his chakra to stop him from using that ability. Minato had found out that there was 2 members remaining of the Kaguya clan. One of them, Kimimaro Kaguya, who was declared missing in last year, and this one that was still left. Now, when Naruto Namikaze and Oroi Takeshido made their way to the arena, as Genma smirked as he remembered Naruto from a long time ago. If he was tough back then, he should be a lot stronger now. Also, Kurna and Asuma and Aoba and Anko were thrilled, ready to see the blonde in action. The others had saw Naruto spar. Aoba didn't know how strong Naruto had gotten. After all, he just saw him, spar twice. Minato for his part smiled as he saw his son walk towards the center of the arena. Now, it's your chance, Naruto-kun. Show all these people what you're made of. It seems your son have his work cut out for him, Hokage-dano. Ori is very talented with wind jutsu. This isn't going to be an easy match. Minato simply smiled. Don't worry about Naruto, Kazekage-dano. It's your Genin I'm worried about, said Minato, as the Kazekage wonder if this boy knew his father's techniques. Your son does look confident, Hokage-dano. This match should be interesting, said the Raikage. Back with Naruto as Genma asked him if they were ready. The both of them nodded as he ushered for them to begin as he leaped away. As Naruto stood there, as the guy was sizing him up and Naruto was doing the same. So he's a wind style user, so if I use wind style, that will just be a waste of time. Lightning it is then. However, I have to see how good this guy is before I choose the attack. Ori didn't want to attack first, as he knew that Naruto was a Hokage's son. Attacking head on would only prove stupid to do so. Out of the blue, Naruto created 3 clones. Scatter, as the clones went to all angles of the stadium. Ori looked around as he couldn't see them anymore. As he glanced towards Naruto was smiling, suddenly his senses went off as he had to dodge 3 kunais that came towards him. It was then that Naruto moved off, shocking everyone as the burst of speed he took reached Ori within seconds. Lightning style, shock paralysis jutsu as he slammed his hand on Ori's stomach. Ori screamed out in pain as he fell down paralyzed as the electricity had coursed through his nervous system. As Genma came over, Ori was down for the count. It will take him a while to regain mobility. Winner! Naruto Namikaze, said Genma, as clap and cheers went off. Many people couldn't believe the match was over so quickly though. As Sasuke looked over, Aruka Sensei, he said, I heard that this Naruto is very capable, but what exactly did he do? Well, it's very easy, Sasuke. It seems like he added wind into his sunshine, making the clones seem like they just disappear, while they went to the opposite side of the arena all around Ori, trapped him inside. When they sent the kunai forward, he used that chance to dodge them, and in that split second, Naruto reacted to end the match rather quickly. What, is he a coward or something, a boy said, as he had a puppy on top of his head. I mean, he didn't even fight for long, he just deceived the enemy. Kiba, using brute force isn't always the best strategy to win a fight. Also, deception can be the best weapon a shinobi can use to win a fight. And this is a tournament, Kiba. Naruto have to fight again, so he can't be wasting chakra if he don't have to. Kiba still thought that the fight was too quick. Meanwhile, Anko had a big smile on her face as Naruto avoided using unnecessary chakra and took care of the enemy so quickly. As Awesome and Kurnai applaud the boy tactics, Guy, however, was screaming about youthfulness and how Naruto was just like Minato. Speaking of the Hokage, as Minato watched how his son dispatched the enemy so quickly without showing much else to the others. The Raikage and Kazekage were surprised, as the Kazekage was rather pissed. That was one of the San's best genins that was defeated so easily, while the Raikage simply smiled upon seeing the technique. Hokage Dano, it seems their son preferred my village ninjutsu rather than yours. Well, yeah, but not entirely true. You will see what they're talking about in a little while, said Minato. With Naruto, while walking towards a booth, Naruto had to come to a stop as a shuriken landed right in front of him with a note. He remembered what happened 2 weeks ago, as he wondered. He picked the note up. Nice fighting, Naruto-kun. Rather quick though. Seems like you have gotten faster. Hope to see more of your abilities later on. Love you, Jiu. P.S. Look up. As Naruto looked up to see two Onfu, one the cat mask, one the dog mask, it was Yuji and Kakashi. As Kakashi gave Naruto a thumbs up. As Naruto smiled up at them, as he had to continue walking towards his booth, as he was happy that they were here, Yuji especially. As Kurnai saw Naruto stop as she looked up along with Anko, as Yuji had came to see him fight. They knew that she was on a mission, they thought she was gonna miss it, but it seems that she came in the nick of time. They're a perfect couple, aren't they? Well, it's not like I haven't told her from the beginning, said Anko. After all, she was sure that the mission wasn't over yet, but she must be the one that probably asked Kakashi to see if they can watch Naruto fight. The next match was Neji versus Shida Takaido, as Neji made his way walking past Naruto. Finish this quickly, and don't waste too much chakra, after all. When I'm gonna beat you, I don't want you to be complaining that is because you're low on chakra, said Naruto. Neji simply smirked. It seems like you're thinking about something completely opposite. You just watch and see, he said. Because I will be the one winning against us. And for this guy, well, it won't be too long. Well, I want to see the Raikage face when you beat his genin, so make sure to take him down quickly. Neji smiled as he made his way towards the arena. As Neji arrived, he saw the guy already there, and he seemed a bit on edge. This guy must be Kubo Hope of beating the Byakugan, to show to the world that it was not unbeatable. After all, he couldn't just try to take his eyes right here. After asking if they're ready, they nodded. Begin, said Genma. Neji wastes no time as he activates his Byakugan. Let's not waste any time, shall we? Because you're in my range, said Neji. 8. Divination signs. 64 palms. Neji wastes no time as he charged Guy. 64 brutal hits as the guy was on the ground, completely sealed off and unconscious. The Raikage was completely shocked, as this match was even faster than Naruto and that other Sand Ninja. As Neji was announced the winner, people were quickly snapped out of their stupor as the match went off so quickly. Some of them barely even noticed that it started and it ended already. As Neji made his way back up after hearing the applause and cheers. Good one, Neji, said Naruto, as he saw that Raikage was really pissed about it. The man was surprised that it ended so quickly. You know, sometimes I don't understand either of you, said Tenten. Keep pushing these people, and you guys will get in trouble. They then turned towards her. Did you say something, Tenten? Asked Neji. Earned a laugh from Naruto as Tenten smacked her forehead. Forget it, she said, with Anko and other Jonins. First Naruto, now Neji. Anko-chan, what the hell have you been teaching them? Said Kurenai. Anko laughed a bit as she felt so proud. Well, I had to make sure that they're ready. I doubt if they even break a sweat yet. Back down to the arena. Now, Yaiko Satoshi and Kira Yoshikage, please approach the arena. As people start to whisper because there was a missing name known as Kisame. Hoshikage as well, as Kisame was a missing name. She was his family indeed, as she was pissed at her uncle Kisame for attacking the water daimyo, therefore tainting their clan's name. Nonetheless, she vowed to become stronger and becoming Chunin was her next obstacle that she had to come over. Well, that and proving the world that her clan is powerful the same way. As she eyed her opponent, Yaiko, as she knew that the guy was somewhat proficient in Earth-style ninjutsu, but she didn't know anything else. Alright, begin, said Genma. Kira instantly went through hand sign, water style, water atmosphere jutsu, as blue particles started to form in the center of the arena, shocking most people. Mostly the water ninjutsu specialist, as UJ was looking down as well, as the girl was pulling the moisture from the air. Kira then went through handstand again, and the water was twisted. Unlike the other ninjas that had water on them, she pulled the water particles in the air, as she created a water dragon from it. Yaiko had to quickly substitute and get out of there, as the log that he substituted with was torn to pieces by the water dragon that smashed into it. He quickly pulled out kunais and shurikens as he tossed them at her. She made 2 water clones as they blocked all of them with pretty much ease. She and her clones then tossed kunais as she added a few explosive tags as well. As Yaiko cursed as he added Chakra to his feet to move away. After dodging, the water around him started to spring up into water clones, 6 of them. Yaiko quickly went through hand sign, Earth style, Earthquake Jutsu, he said. As the clones lost their balance, he dashed forward and slashed them down with kunai, dispelling them as they burst into water. As Kira gathered up a large amount of her chakra, water style, wave collision destruction jutsu, as a massive wave of water went towards Yaiko, who flipped through hand sign, Earth style underground fish protection jutsu, he said, as he sank below the ground, swiftly escaping the tidal wave that would cause a lot of damage to him. After seeing Yaiko appear from the ground, Kira cursed herself, as she used so much chakra she fell down to one knee. Seeing that Genma made his way, can you go on, he asked. She shook her head sadly. I forfeit. I'm running low on chakra, she said. Genma declared Yaiko the winner, as Kira was being attended to by the minute nins to make sure that she didn't, well, pass out because chakra exhaustion. She heard clapping coming from the crowd for her, even from the booth as well, as she turned to realize that Naruto, the Hokage's son, was the one clapping at her from the booth. As Naruto was amazed by her display of water ninjutsu and as well as her quick thinking. Next was Tenten fight, and she'd be fighting another stone ninja as well. Since she was part of Team 5, the Hidden Stone had a bit of quarrel with them. Every once in a while, Team 5 ended up ruining some of the Hidden Stone missions, time to time, and now she'll be fighting against one of their genins, but this time she'll be alone with her team, and that thought scared her a bit. But she remembered talking to Uncle Sensei about it. Flashback. Team 5 was coming from near the Hidden Stone border, as they had a few cuts and scrapes and deep gashes. Not anything life-threatening, as bandits were wrapped around their wound, as they had to protect a farmer from bandits' attack. Turned out that said bandit, higher, a stone team made from Chunin to help them take over the farmland. In the end, Uncle went after the leader of the group, the one that was given the order despite all of them being Chunin, as Naruto and Neji took care of the other 2, with Tenten offering assistance with kunais and shurikens, as Naruto and Neji got some cuts and bruises. So when they arrived, they went to the hospital to get themselves fully checked out, as Tenten and Uncle made their way to the office to give the mission report. On the way, Uncle turned. Tenten, I want to talk to you about the last mission. What about Uncle Sensei? Asked Tenten. I noticed in the last Chunin attack us, you were frightened, weren't you? If Neji wasn't quick enough to meet the earth wall, there would have been more damage. What happened? Asked Uncle. As Tenten looked down in shame, truthfully, she was beating up herself about this ever since the trip started. I thought I was going to die, Uncle Sensei. When the enemy moved to attack me, I was defenseless. I was unprepared. I just stood there waiting for the death blow, said Tenten, as she felt terrible with herself. Tenten, look at me. Mistakes can't afford to be happen while we're on missions. That is why we train ourselves to exhaustion. As a kunoichi, you have to be ready and alert all the time. There isn't always you'll have someone to cover for you. I thought we got that covered after my snake summoning training. I thought I got it covered, but we never actually attacked with killing intent. This time was my first death escape. I'm different from Naruto and Neji. Those guys escape death constantly because of Hidden Stone and Kumo. As she was comparing herself to her teammates like that. Suddenly, slap. It wasn't a hard snap, but it was enough to make her focus. Pull yourself together, girl, said Uncle. It wouldn't do any good to wallow in self-pity now. What is done is done. Now we need to up your awareness training. Come on, you're on Uncle's team. There will be no slouching or no tears. So dry those tears and let's get going. Tenten wiped away the tears as she nodded a smile. End the flashback. Will Tenten and Akira Higurashi approach the center of the arena, said Genma. Tenten, said Neji. Keep your eyes open for sneak attacks and always be aware. You'll be great. As Uncle had told them about what happened, well, they had seen it for themselves as well. But they wanted to talk to Tenten about it, but Uncle told them. So they never really talk about it. They just made sure to up her awareness training. And it had helped a lot. Don't worry, just another Wonder Crush, said Naruto as he gave her a thumbs up. Go ahead and show them what you're made of. She nodded. I can do this, my team and my sensei believe in me, she said. With that, she made her way down. As Uncle smiled, you can do this, Tenten. As Tenten made her way down, as Akira started to taunt her with gestures and small talk, but she ignored him, as she wouldn't fall for something like that. She wouldn't lose her composure. As Genma told him to begin, Tenten wasted no time as she tossed 4 shurikens. Shuriken clone jutsu, she said, as they multiply into 40. Akira leaped away as far as possible as he blocked the ones that were still on his path. He then ran around as he rushed towards Tenten for a taijutsu match. As he came up with a lot of punching, she had no other option but to block and dodge. As he threw another punch, she substituted that 3 logs his fist break through it as she appeared distance away. Using distance, she went through handstand and gathered air in her lungs. Upon exhaling, she fired a massive fireball towards him as he slammed his hand in the ground, earth style, earth wall, as the earth wall rose up and tanked the fireball. Akira smiled. If I were you, I wouldn't smile like that, said Tenten. Oh, and why is that, girlie, he said, as he didn't realize his mistake. As Tenten released a dose of killing intent, as Neji and Naruto looked at each other, as they remembered the last guy that called Tenten that. Meanwhile, Uncle shook her head. Out of all the other words he could say, he had to call her that. What's going on? Asked Kurnai, as Uncle decided to elaborate. Tenten hates people that treat women like they're weaker than man, just because they're man. One time a Konoha Genin challenged her to a spar, and she refused. Well, he decided to taunt her by calling her girly. Tenten lost her mind, as she started to beat the crap out of the boy. As Naruto and Neji was the one that literally saved him, but still he had to go to the hospital. Really? She's quite the firecracker you have there, said Asuma. It's not just her, said Kurnai. Every kunoichi hates being treated like that. Tenten just expressed herself in a violent way, said Kurnai. As Asuma flinched a bit, as he didn't expect her to answer that way. Well, he didn't mean it by any harm. Back to the fight. Tenten was seeing red now, as Tenten was going to teach this guy a lesson. He think he was better than her just because he was a guy. As she went through hand sign, she was going to make him see that he was not. Fire style. Flame missile jutsu, she said. Akira eyes widened as Tenten released a massive, strange flame that looked almost white. As it came in like a missile, Akira went through hand signs and created one of those other earth walls. But this time it started to crack. His eyes went wide and Tenten fired off another one, as she knew that she was getting low on chakra, but it will break through. As it slammed into the wall, obliterating it. The attack slammed into Akira. He screamed out in pain as he started to be burned badly. The medics quickly rushed out on the field. As Genma saw the girl walking forward. It's over, he said, stopping her in her path. Seems like this girl really didn't like to be called girly, he thought to himself. Winner! 10-10, he said. Time skip, as the first round had came to an end. As Naruto and Neji were talking about the second round, and what they expected, 10-10 for her part was gaining her breath, after using that jutsu, not once but twice. She realized she let her emotions get the better of her, and that would cause her. As she remembered Uncle's words, she let the enemy got to her, but she win, but she still let him got to her. As she looked towards her other two teammates, as Naruto had showed tuning type abilities on his fight with that strategy to deceive his opponent with his clones, Neji won his fight with one sweet fast attack. Well, more like 64 attacks, but it was still flawless and quick nonetheless. But she was the opposite of the boys. While they were calm and collected, she let the guy, well, put her on edge, as she used 80% of her chakra right there and then. As she was glad that she already advanced to the final round. After all, she don't think that she can fight in any second round at all. She would definitely lose, or she would have to call it quits. Her chakra was already low, she had to get some rest. But then she looked down and realized that all of those that fight before were the ones that win, and all of them were stronger than her. But she shouldn't let herself seem weak. After all, she was a part of the famous Team 5 that break into Kumo and Stone camps every now and then. As she was so focused on her thoughts, she barely heard it, but she heard it nonetheless. Naruto Namikaze versus Yasuo Kaguya. As Naruto made his way down towards the center of the arena, as him and Neji joked that if they switch places, it would be easier for both of them. But he secretly wanted to fight the Kaguya member. He knew that Yasuo was holding back on his first fight, but Naruto was also confident because he held back as well. But seeing that Yasuo knows some of his clan fighting techniques, he tended to use water style as well. But that meant Naruto didn't have an advantage over him. But he can use the water to his advantage a bit with some lightning jutsu, seeing that water conduct electricity. As he started to think of a plan, making his way down. Making his way down there, he saw Yasuo smiling at him. He was confused, because the guy was really stoic up until now. May I ask, why you're smiling at me, Yasuo-san? Well, it's simple, I'm smiling because I'm about to fight the 4th Hokage legacy. As Naruto finger twitched at that, by beating his son, I'll prove to everyone that the Kaguya clan is truly worth respect, Yasuo said. Up in his stance, Uncle bit her lip in annoyance to what the guy said to her student, as it could be seen on her face that she was furious. Uncle, what's the matter? Asuma asked. As Kurenai turned her head towards her friend, that guy just said the worst thing could ever say to Naruto. Kurenai and Asuma looked at her. Why would you say that? Isn't Naruto the 4th Hokage's son? Why would there be a problem about it? Asked Kurenai. Kurenai-chan, since Naruto graduated and became a genin, the only acknowledgements he gotten, besides, from his parents was because he was a 4th Hokage's son. No matter what he did or how he did it, people would always say that he's strong, because he's in the genes, because his father was a Hokage. However, Naruto worked to exhaustion every single day to step away from his father's shadow and make a reputation for himself. Asuma, for his part, knew exactly what that feeling was like. After all, his father was the 3rd Hokage, and knew exactly what people feel and see when they notice someone's powerful son. After all, the first thing that came to their mind, he has to be strong. After all, his father is this or that. Thinking, Asuma almost missed the story, but he heard it, as Uncle started to tell Kurenai about the time when Naruto almost lost himself in anger, as he was facing off against two genins from the Hidden Stone, as both of them weren't even a match for him, as he was able to beat them down freely. But on one of them last words, he cursed the 4th Hokage, saying that the man was responsible for him being beat like this despite Naruto being the one that fought him. It made Naruto so angry, as Uncle saw the rage inside Naruto's eyes. After everything, people still didn't even see him there. They just think of him as his father's son, and he didn't want to be only that. Up in the booth, Minato knew that Naruto must be feeling angry right now, but Naruto was doing his best to control his emotions. After all, he knew that every time everything happened, he was always compared to him, despite how Naruto trained and pushed himself to his limit every single time. With Naruto, I am not my father, said Naruto. Our styles are completely different and I have my own techniques. So when this fight is over, you wouldn't have fought against the 4th Hokage legacy. You fought against Naruto Namikaze, and I'll be the one that defeat the last of the Kaguya clan. That caused many of Naruto's friends to smile. Genma smiled as well as he remembered Naruto 6 years ago. He has surely grown. After giving the authorization to begin, Genma jumped away, as Yasuo sent bone fingers towards Naruto, who dodged them as he tossed kunais towards Yasuo. With explosive notes on them, Yasuo simply moved forward to escape, but the kunais went off, shocking Yasuo. Little did he know, Naruto knew a bit about sealing after all. He could control the timings of his explosive notes. The result sent Yasuo sailing as he smashed into the wall. Luckily, he sent his bone towards his back to protect himself and absorb some of the impact. He activated seal before time. Caught me by surprise. Quite clever. Well, Yasuo ripped himself out of the wall. I am not done yet, as he pulled a sword from his bones and shot forward. As Naruto reached for his twin trench knife and channeled wind chakra a bit more than he would put into them, knowing how strong these bones are. As Yasuo brought down his blade, as Naruto brought up two of his knives, and they smashed against each other. Yasuo twists with great flexibility as he slices. As he magic cut Naruto's arm, Naruto flipped back as he flipped through hand sign. Lightning release. Lightning chain jutsu. Suddenly a dark cloud appeared. Yasuo's eyes went wide as he leaped and dodged as lightning came shooting down. As he leaped back suddenly, the ground burst open. There was another Naruto that slashed Yasuo across the chest with his trench knife. As he ended up backpedaling right into the last lightning attack, he screamed out when it slammed into him. As Naruto didn't wait for Yasuo to recover, as he moved forward, lightning release, lightning strike jutsu. As everyone was amazed when Naruto's feet started to sparkle with electricity. As he shot forward, his speed was intense, he twists. A roundhouse kick was slammed into Yasuo's chest. Yasuo's eyes went wide as his body was thrown violently as he smashed into the wall. As he went cold, completely out cold he went. To say the people that were watching was impressed, it was an understatement, as Genma was amazed. Well, the kid didn't even use his wind attacks. He must be saving that for the end. But he was coming along well. The future great shinobis of the village, you could see it right now. As Genma announced Naruto the winner, another round of cheers and applause went off. As Uncle was up, gloating about her student, as everyone was rather impressed. Meanwhile, with the recently graduated Genins, everyone was amazed by the display of power. Sasuke was furious seeing this boy was more powerful than him. He was an elite Uchiha. Itachi was right, this Naruto is indeed powerful, but when I activate my Sharingan, I will be able to copy all of those jutsu that he has and use them against him, Sasuke thought, as he smiled to himself. Kiba for his part went completely silent as he realized he underestimated the blonde too much. It seems that the blonde was just holding back. Shikamaru smiled as he saw the display that Naruto just did. He always knew that Naruto was going to be powerful after all. He trained like hell. Yeah, he deserved all the benefit that he reaped. But guys, the end episode right here. If you want to see this part of this, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Had Cosmic Energy over on Anime King 3. All links will be down in the description for you guys to enjoy. And stay in tune for a brand new episode of What If Naruto was given abilities by 4 devils over an Anime King, which I do hope that you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying, talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm off for now. See you guys over in Anime King. Peace.